Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Peter Kennedy, Kennedy's Garage. What we have is a Mazda CX5 here. This is not going to be very long-winded, it's just going to be a fast one because I'm doing a good few of these, so I don't want to have too many of them. Throwing up that people might think, oh, he's only doing the same old job all the time. It came in as a non-start and it's been diagnosed as the intake manifold being blocked and the ports being blocked, which is a very common occurrence on these things. But I'm just going to show you just to see intake ports. Intake ports are in a bad kind of a state all the way along. Easy enough to pull off the intake manifold. A little bit of fidget in it, but nothing too hard. Ports themselves, all the way along. We're going to look at the throttle body. Nice. On the other side then, this little tube, as some of you that follow me know, is coming from what I call two EGR valves over here, down through this thing, into this, and then into the intake manifold or the intake system. We're going to clean this. Our map sensor is in an awful state again. Okay, there's that. What am I going to do? I'm going to do a little fast tip or hints on what I possibly haven't shown before, or what I haven't explained very well in other videos. Now, to clean these intake manifolds, ports, what I need to do is, and this is using logic and sense, lads, and going to be probably a fast, hopefully, pointer for some of you. But if you think about this and mull it through your head, you'll get a gist on it. All of these are fairly badly blocked, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to identify one of the ports and get the valves, intake valves, open fully. If I can open intake valves fully, we'll suggest on number one over here. If I can open intake valves fully on number one cylinder over there, can't actually see the last port, over here, well, at that point in time, I can clean all of the other ports without worrying if they're opened or closed. Because if they're fully open on one cylinder, they have to be closed on all of the other cylinders, if that makes sense. Now, it doesn't matter what cylinder we're going into. So if I can get in to number, we'll say 3, just for an uneven number. If I can get into the 2 ports on number 3 cylinder with a borescope, camera, send it in. If I can get in and get them fully open, then I can clean 1, 2, and 4. So whichever one I open fully is the only one I can't do under one sitting. Right? Just to speed it up for some of you guys out there, if anyone's going at these Mazdas, just open one cylinder fully. Now, it has to be fully open. Don't have it half open or kind of closing. Get it fully open. And once it's fully open, there's not a hope in the wide earthly world. It cannot happen that any of the other valves, intake valves on the other cylinders, will be open. Only the 2 on the specific cylinder that you're on. Okay? If we're working on the 2 ports in number 4 cylinder, well then all of those from here over are closed and we can clean them. Okay? So open one fully and then clean the other 3. Once they're clean, you'll be able to see them fairly easy after that point, and then you can go along and do the last one with some of them open. Doesn't matter which one. So open some of them and then you can clean the last one. Okay? I'm going to get it clean now. That's 3-4 minutes of talking, and that's just a little pointer. I'm going to get this thing cleaned up and yeah, see where we go. Okay guys, I was out at my video and I just thought maybe I should try and show you this in a little bit more detail. On number 3, around halfway down the induction stroke, the intake valve will be fully open. So that's here. About halfway down, it's going to be fully open. It's going to close before the bottom of the stroke. Every other cylinder, it's going to go up in compression. Intake valve has to be closed. It's going to go down on power. Intake valve has to be closed. It's going to be open exhaust. Exhaust valve is open, but intake valve has to be closed. Put a little layout there for you, look. And I'll put a picture of this up, so maybe if someone wants to look at it and just maybe take a screenshot of it for cleaning these things, okay? Okay guys, on this occasion what we're going to try and do is find which valves are open, intake valves are open, without using a borescope or any fancy tools. So I'm going in and I've taken off the oil filler cap. If you can look at it there, just throw your oil line on it. We have 2 ports here, and I've 2 ports here, and I've 2 ports here. Right, so that's number 3 cylinder, number 2 cylinder. The oil filler cap is right in the middle of it. If I go in there, I can see rockers and camshafts and all that stuff. And I'm hoping that ye might. On the left-hand side of your screen, we can see a rocker. Let's try and send in a little screwdriver. We can see it. It's a bad new screwdriver, but it's don't see the rusty screwdriver and think, oh my God. It's just the one I grabbed. The rocker is down there, okay? That's for number 2 cylinder. If we looked on the other side, if it's easier, we go down there again. Oh, it's in at an angle. The rocker for number 3, one of them anyway, is, sorry, right there. Maybe I could zoom in a bit, can I? Okay, so you can see that rocker. That's number 3 cylinder. On the opposite side is number 2. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of these. This one on the right hand side over there is close to being closed, but I'm looking for an open one. The open one is on this side. So I'm going to send out my screwdriver. See if you can see this. In on the top of the rocker. Just going to leave it sit on it. Looking in my eyes now because it's been done by the camera. Okay. Right, I'm now sitting on that. Ye may have seen me doing this before, and lads do ask, and if it's automatic, there isn't an option for this, but my one is manual here. So I just put a beer crate underneath my wheel, and I drop my lift down and onto the actual beer crate. I'm going to leave it run away. I'll get rid of it in a second. But what I can do then on the opposite side is I can turn my wheel because it's up off the ground. Okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my wheel until I see that going down as far as I can, as in, i.e. it's open, the valve is open as far as I can. I'm going to go over and turn off the compressor and we'll start doing that, okay? Okay guys, there's my little bad Stanley screwdriver that I had about 20 years, but if I'm looking at that, we'll go in and I'm going to look at it here. And if you can see that going down, I'm turning the wheel. That's nearly her. I think she's starting to come back up there. I'm going to go back down again. I don't have tripod. Okay, that's it. That's where I'm stopping, okay? What I have now is I've gone down and back up and down and back up and down. So I'm sure that it's open and wide open on number 3 cylinder because my screwdriver is pointing over that way to number 3 ports, okay? So those 2 valves are open as wide as they can. At this point in time, some lads will put masking tape and stuff over them. I just don't. Possibly should. But anyway, I'm going to get the rest of the ports clean. So number 1, number 2, number 3 are going to be cleaned at this point in time. Again, you don't need to see me going through that. I use a drill to get the carbon out of it, and I don't have a shot blaster. So I just never bought one, and I don't think it's nearly necessary for this, so I don't overcomplicate it. If I can make it as simple and easy as possible, that's what we're doing here in this video, okay? I'm going to get these things cleaned. I'll give you a snippet of when and where I'm at when I'm kind of done, okay? Just if someone hasn't seen any of my other videos, it's as simple and easy, or what I do is as simple and easy as sending it in, running, drill around, and it starts to take away the carbon right back, okay? Okay, talk to you when they're clean. Okay guys, I have my 3 ports done. I cleaned them maybe a little bit, buffering more, but there's no need. I'm gone in deep in the valves. What I can, and I have to say, is this, it's a little snap-on toothpick. It's not even mine, it's Alan's, but with that slight little twist on the top of it is ideal. Without that, I'd probably be lost on doing these things. I go in and I can get in around the valves, if that makes sense, in the back. Do you get what I'm saying? So that toothpick is long, snap on, get yourself a toothpick. And I suppose what I never think about is you need compressed air. So we have to have compressed air to blow the carbon out of it. I'm using a Hoover then to catch whatever of the carbon that comes shooting out, so it doesn't land everywhere. And that's kind of it. What I'm doing now, I'm just have to swap my screwdriver over onto the other intake valve, and I'm going to turn until that stops going down. It's going to start going up. It's going to start going up there now. So I'm going back again slightly. Okay. If also lads have an automatic car and you can't do that, what you can do is just take off the wheel. There's a little piece of plastic sitting in there, and that piece of plastic just comes off, and you can only just turn it with it's a 21 or 22 socket, I don't know, and just turn it with a ratchet. Simple, easy job. So the opposite is handy if you don't, if you've an automatic and you can't do this on a lift or whatever. Okay, right. I'm at the spin around, so now I have intake valves wide open on number 2 cylinder. I am now going to go and get this one cleaned out. Okay, maybe if anyone's going to use tape, now is the time, because those valves are open in here. All along they were all kind of blocked, so it was, yeah, didn't matter, but there was very little going to go in. But right now we have clean ports, so we could get stuff in there. But that's it, just we'll get them done. Okay, on the intake manifold, lads, just I'm using the drill again. Just make sure you pull out this thing. Okay, it has to come out. This is where the exhaust gas goes through. It's tight there now, but it has to come out. A messy job, but look, it's not so bad. Okay, get that chuck out of it, clean it, because it's that thing that is creating the problem. Day one, make sure this is clean, and then we can attack our ports. Okay, we are back together, up and running. All of our little bits and pieces put in as they should be, and that's it. We're starting, we're going. This thing wouldn't go, it is now going. This isn't really I've done a lot of videos on this stuff, but what I'm kind of saying is that it's not really a double up on what I've done before. Sorry, I'm turning off the car because it's kind of noisy. It's not a double up on what I've done before. I think there's a couple of little pointers in here that are going to aid lads to doing this handier, easier, without the need of boroscopes or any of that. It's only a drill and a screwdriver, I think, is the biggest, most complicated thing. And also, yeah, as I said there, the wheel thing that I do with the beer crate is not necessity. It can be done from the crank pulley in underneath the driver's wheel with an extension and a 21 socket and a ratchet to turn your engine over, okay? But for this one, look, we are done. It's up and going. I'm not trying to double up. I'm just trying to give better pointers, okay, from my own videos and looking at myself in the comments. Guys, if my hints and tips are any good to you, please like and subscribe, and I don't know, give me a thumbs up or whatever the heck it means, or tell me I'm silly and stupid and stop doing the same Mazda videos. But for now, yeah, look, thanks. Talk to you all in the next cartoon. Peter Kennedy signing out. Bye. We'll see you later. On the ball.